I am Manish Joshi from Scientech Technologies Pvt Ltd, Indore, India. We are a leading company engaged in design, development and manufacturing of test and measuring products, the technology training platforms and the softwares for learning and various technologies. And since last 3 decades, we have been supplying our products to all the leading institutions of India. That includes the IITs, IIITs, NITs, the leading universities. And in the same series, we are also supplying our products to PSNA, College of Engineering and Technology, Dindigul. We are basically engaged in developing the solutions for the IoT, the artificial intelligence, machine learning, the deep learning, the Industry 4.0, and a lot of different solutions we are developing as of now as well for the industry automation. For PSNA, we have a very long association since last many years, and we have supplied a couple of products to them. We had very good collaborative relation, I should say. It's not only the interactive relation, but I should say that we have the collaborative association with PSNA group of institution, where all faculties are regularly interacting with us. They keep on giving some good feedbacks, the valuable feedbacks. We use their feedbacks as an input for developing a much richer product for the academic institutions. Besides that, we also have our industrial solutions, so sometimes their inputs are also useful for developing the solution for the industries. And I hope and I believe that this association will remain in future as well for now. It's not a 1 day or 2 day business association, but it's a long-term association what we have with PSNA group of institution, that is PSNA College of Engineering and Technology in Indore. And we supplied for their fiber optic training solution. So fiber optic communication, the fiber optic cable, we had seen, means all of us might have seen across the road that people are digging the road and putting the fiber optic coaxial cable. So this fiber optic cable has replaced the coaxial cable which have been used earlier for the communication. So there are many advantages of fiber optic cable, so that it provides a very good bandwidth, the lighter in weight, immune to electromagnetic interference, and the per unit time, the data which it can transmit, definitely it is much better than what a coaxial cable can transmit. So this fiber optic is a very important for any electronics and communication engineer to understand that how fiber optic communication takes place. So we have series of products, and we also call that we are providing a fiber optic complete lab, and that starts right from understanding that how the signal flows inside the fiber optic cable. So we are just giving a transparent piece of some material, and we show student in a class or in a laboratory that once you incident the light through a laser pointer, then how light travels inside the fiber, and light is nothing but that is carrying the information. So information is converted, the electrical information, your signals are converted into light. Then based on the total internal reflection, the light is being transmitted to the fiber optic cable, and the entire through the cable it transmits through the total internal reflection. So right from that point of view of study, that how light travels inside the fiber, which is very important. So that also we cover through our solution, and we have provided to PSNA institution. The next comes us that how you are converting your signals which you want to communicate through microphone, or there may be some data with some frequency modulation, or maybe some amplitude modulation, or simple analog signal, how you can transmit that signal to the receiver, from transmitter to receiver. So we have supplied some couple of products where students can learn that yes, this is how my voice is converted into the electrical signal, then electrical signal is converted to the light signal, then light signal is launched inside the fiber at receiver, again the light is been detected by the photo detector, then again it has been converted to electrical signal, then there is an audio amplifier, and then I am getting a voice. So I can establish a voice communication. Or even I can send only analog signal into the optical fiber just by converting that analog signal, electrical signal into the light signal, and then again the same process that what we have seen into the voice communication. The fiber optic cable, we say that the data rate is very high, so definitely it is being used for establishing the communication between computer to computer. So student can see, they can chat between two computers and they can establish this communication link by using the fiber optic cable. If I remove the fiber optic cable, then there will not be any communication between these two computers. So they also understand that. Then it is very important that we always explain that the fiber optic cables are the communication is basically immune to the electromagnetic interference. So we have provided a facility that student can introduce some electromagnetic interference, and then you can see that how the fiber optic communication is immune to that particular kind of interference. But when we see the advantages, we should also understand that what are the different characteristics or the features of fiber optic communications. So there are two important laws which comes when we talk about the fiber optic cable. One is the length loss. As the length increases in a fiber optic cable, the attenuation is more, and that is how we are providing two different length cables, and student can see that how signal gets attenuated with different length of the cable when they have been using. There is another loss occurs in fiber optic communication, which is typically a bending loss. When the fiber optic cable bends at certain point of at certain position, then the lights get scattered from there, and this is how the bending loss occurs into the fiber optic communication. But definitely, compared to the coaxial cables, the length of communication which we can achieve through fiber optic cables is much more. The transmission bandwidth is much more. So these are some experiments which a student can learn. What is numerical aperture? That is very important. So that can also be understood by the student. The next is that there is a bit error rate. It's a very common phenomenon, a common term that the bit error rate occurs right we are communicating through any communication link. So what is that bit error rate? How we can measure that? So that can also be possible with our training platforms. So it's just that we are understanding that how this fiber optic cable is being used and how it is immune to noise, what are the different losses. So once you understand this, then later on student has to understand when you are deploying, when you are installing the fiber optic cable network. So when you are deploying that, it is very important that how to polish the fiber optic cable end, because if it is not polished, so then there will be signal loss. So how to polish that? If you are, because they are very light in weight, so many times it happens that the cable gets disconnected at some point. So then how to find that where the cable is having some problem, that it got cut. Then once you identify that cut, then it's your responsibility, the technician's responsibility, the engineer's responsibility is working on that to make a joint. So it is not just like coaxial cable that you are just putting the copper, twisting the copper cable and just putting the tape. Here you will have to do either the mechanical splice or you need to do the fusion splicing. So there are two popular techniques for splicing two fiber optic cables. One is through the mechanical splice and another is the fusion splice. So we also provide the fusion splicing machine as a part of solution, and we also provide the mechanical splicing kit as a form, in the form of our another training platform which covers the most of the tools which are being used for into the fiber optic communication industry, like a microscope or the polishing films, or how to make a mechanical joint, how to cleave the fiber optic cable, how to strip the fiber optic cable. So this all knowledge is very important if you are making your career in the fiber optic industry. Then when I say that, we have to see that where the fault is, where the bending loss is, where the attenuation is in the fiber optic cable. So in that case, we need to use a very important instrument in the fiber optic industry, that is the optical domain reflectometer, that is OTDR. which is being used for finding out the different faults, not only the break into the optical cable, but you need to find, hey, where is the signal is getting attenuated beyond the limits. Where there is a splice loss. If you are making a splice, so definitely there is going to happen some splice loss. If there is a bad connector you are using into the connector, so there will be reflections. So then one should know that where is a bad connector is being connected. So all this study of fiber optic cable communication is being done through the OTDR. So we have very good solution and we provide the OTDR. And for academic institutions, we have bundled some and we have developed some training solution. We have made some particular cable which is having some different splices, which is having some losses, and the student can connect that and then he can see that how the trace of a OTDR gives you the information, where is the loss, where is the attenuation loss, where is the bad connector, where is the ghost image. So all this information he can extract from that. So that OTDR bundle also we provide. Now it's a time of that you need to send multiple signals. So fiber optic cable is also being used to send the multiplex signals. And as in analog communication, there is the frequency division multiplexing. In digital communication, there is a time division multiplexing. Once it comes to the fiber optic cable, so fiber optic cable communication, then people talk about the wavelength division multiplexing. You need to send information on different wavelengths of light. All the wavelengths of light you are basically coupling into one coaxial, into one fiber optic cable. At the receiver end, at a destination end, you are using different decouplers and you are extracting different wavelength of lights, and then you are basically getting your different signals. So that is called as the wavelength division multiplexing. So we have a very powerful training platform which talks about the wavelength division multiplexing for understanding that. Then there are two important terms like chromatic dispersion, the physics of the fiber optics, that what is the physics behind that fiber optics communication. So we have that particular product as well. So we have a wide range of solutions, right from how light travels inside the fiber up to the wavelength division multiplexing and using of the different products, supporting products and tools which are required for that. Last but not least, I must say that we have a powerful software, we call it a Scientech software, that is simplified teaching and learning. That software is basically can be used by student for his learning, the teacher can use for the teaching, and that talks the entire fiber optic communication subject through different animated contexts. That what is total internal reflection, what is the critical angle, what should be the angle of incidence when I am doing it, what is the single mode fiber communication, what is multi-mode. So this all fiber optics communication as a subject, we have very good animated content in the form of Scientech software, so that also we have. So this is how I am just talking about the fiber optics, but we have different range of products, IoT, the artificial intelligence, then the software defined radio. So we have a huge range of products. And yes, once again, we are very thankful to the college institute authorities for having a very close collaborative working with the Scientech technologies. We also have a lot of the internship program, and many interns are doing their internship, the summer internship, or during the semester break, they come to us, or sometimes during this COVID period, we are also giving some tasks to students on work from home kind of an internship. So that is also that is another possibility that people are doing. And this such kind of association we have with this institution, and we feel and honestly we are of this opinion that let this relation and association for a long term. Thank you so much.